Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. My background is my 38th year coaching football. I've either been a defensive, offensive, or special teams coordinator, as well as a head coach at both the collegiate and high school levels. In this presentation, I wanted to share with you just a very simple thing that we do to our base front in our 3-4 package, the 50 front, by simply adding what we call an up tag. Comes after the front call. It's not call, yeah, an ad would be up 50. This is 50 up, which makes it a tag at the end. Okay. And what I want to explain to you is why we do it, give you some ideas as to things that you can do out of it. So in other presentations, when we operate the pressures out of our up tag, it'll make sense to you. Okay. So, first of all we simply do when we say 50, up. Here it is. Double, right? So, by signaling both hands up, that tells our inside linebackers that both are up. Okay? If we were to only signal one hand, then that would tell one of our linebackers, the one in which we would do by game plan, who should be up. So you don't have to put both up, is my point. Okay? But I think it's much more effective when you do for this reason. Okay. Now, it obviously depends on the situation, the score, your opponent match. I mean, there's a million variables. So I'm not necessarily going to get into all those variables, but I'm just going to explain to you how we do it and the reasons we do it. So everybody is in their base 50 alignments, meaning 8 technique, 4-0-4. And then our inside linebackers are in the B split on the guard, meaning their inside toes and the guard's outside toe. And up, they do it on the line of scrimmage. I mean, there it is. They put that up toe, they keep a staggered stance. And what they're really doing is they're selling the blitz. Now, they need to be careful not to be offsides, because if they get one of the offensive linemen to move, it'll be on us. Okay, so you got to make sure your kids understand that. So the nose's hand we use as the landmark for the guard's up toe. And if they're not sure, we tell them back up a little bit. Okay. So right now you've got 6 on the line of scrimmage, and so that's exotic. That's what the exotic part is. Okay, because normally they're at 4 yards, and all of a sudden everybody's on the line of scrimmage. It's like, oh my God. Right, but remember one of the built-in disguises of our 3-4 defense. The offense has to figure out who's coming, who's the fourth pressure, fifth, right? They have to figure it out. And so this exotic doesn't make it any easier. Okay? So, I mean, an obvious situation you wouldn't run it in necessarily is a medium yardage, 2nd and 4, 2nd and 5. Pretty good chance they're going to run whatever their power play is, and you're not in the best position to defend it when you're in the up. All right. But again, I wasn't going to get into all the variables. So, what we want to do is sell the blitz. And if nothing else, force the offense to get into a situation where, oh boy, we don't have the right call. So now they either build in the audibles, or now they got to look to the sidelines. And meanwhile, the play clock's ticking, and they get antsy if they run out of time, right? As they should. So what this enables us to do, this exotic, is what we call our sim package, or we're going to simulate a 4 or 5 man pressure just by our alignment. Okay, or it could even possibly be a 6-man pressure. Okay, so then we either pressure or we don't. That's the simulated part. Just by lining up in this exotic front, we've simulated that pressure's coming. So yeah, it's a ruse. There's a lot of faking going on here. So if we don't pressure at all, either on the snap or just prior to, we tell them push off the front toe and work back quickly. and then read your surface and react. You're 51, you're a 51. Play football. Okay? So that's why we do it. We're trying to create a little bit of panic on the offense. We want them to be unsure. If it's a passing situation with all the offensive linemen covered, that is definitely a problem for any protection. Okay, and do they have a plan for this? And obviously, if you've shown it in games, they should have a plan for it. So you show it early so you can get an idea of what their plan is. Okay. I wouldn't wait until crunch time and then you don't know what their plan is. And if they have a good plan, you're stuck, right? So, little cat and mouse, not just the offense trying to figure out what you're going to do defensively. See what the offense's plan is. Okay. But that's all we do. We just put our inside linebackers on the line of scrimmage to simulate. It's an exotic for one, but then to simulate a pressure, offense has to figure out who's coming, if anybody. And if nobody's coming, then we say just the term is punch out, pushing off the front toe. And, depending on your kids, they got to do it early or later. Some are so good they can do it on the snap, which is even tougher in the offense. But don't ask your kids to do things they're not necessarily good at, right? So, as always, and the coverage can vary 100 different ways. And by the way, this would still be orbit. This would still be sky. Nobody's alignments have changed. That's our disguise. Is our alignment. It's always the same. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me at coachmjsullivan@gmail.com, and I'd love to talk football with you.